let's talk about some video games because we have been playing some video games. Jada, you just had, is your review up? Is it, or can we talk about it?
It is not up currently. It is in the process of going up. I'm a little bit delayed compared to Embargo just because I took it on getting back from Gamescom. So very shortened review period. But Hell Is Us will be my next review that's going up. I'm not going to give the score away here right now. You guys will have to just check into that later. It's a 50. Yes, I gave it a 50.
Out of 10.
Dan Stapleton was pissed when he saw I gave it a 50. He's like, this doesn't fit anywhere on our scale.
You broke our website. It's not even supposed to go up that high.
The 5 is actually just a $sign. It's $0. I don't know. I was like, damn, this is what I've got. This is Gamescom brain, bud. But Hell Is Us, it's out tomorrow. I think right now, if you paid for like the early access, you can play it currently. So there are some people already getting hands-on with it. Solid, very solid action, adventure, exploration, lots of puzzle solving in this game. I was not aware that it was going to have as much puzzle solving in this game from the earlier trailers. It looked to be more horror adjacent with the very creepy and awesome designed what are called hollows in this game, which you can see on screen. Those little creepy looking little white guys. They are just fantastic design. I wish there was more of them in the game. There's not a whole lot of them, but each design is great. It's fantastic. But yeah, I spent a little under 40 hours to finish this one. I cleared, I think, around 75% of the side quests and puzzles or so. So I've still got some to go back and finish post-review. But really enjoyed it. It's got some good build diversity when it comes to your weapons. You've got axes, twin axes, swords, pole arms, a great sword, and I feel like there's one or two other weapon types that I'm forgetting right now.
Jada, clear the air on this one a little bit, because I think a lot of people were like, this is a Souls-like with a lightsaber and a drone and Death Stranding and like what is this game?
You would not be wrong to assume the kind of lightsaber Souls-like. It's even your only outfit choice is poncho. So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order style.
Welcome back, Cal Kestis.
Welcome back, Cal Kestis. You've got ponchos. You've got a little drone on your upper right shoulder that scans things for you so you can read them.
This is Cal Kestis versus seasonal depression.
Welcome back, BD1.
But yeah, so it's not a Souls game. Mainly in the fact that there's no resource that you gain or lose on kill. For enemies, enemies do not respawn right away on death. So if you do die, but you kill 3 of the 4 enemies in a room, those 3 of those 4 will be dead when you come back. And you just have to kill the 4th one and move on, which was kind of nice. There are exceptions to that rule where there's sometimes these enemies are entwined and binded to each other. And you'll see these like pixel-like creations come out that are called haze, they're good enemies for fighting, but just not on the creative level as the hollows, which was where a little bit of my disappointment came from the enemy variety in this game. But there's multiple levels of that. But yeah, it's not a Souls-like at all, other than managing your stamina on attacks. Each attack takes up stamina.
Hold on. I want to stop you there. I feel like we're totally bearing the lead on this game, and I feel like the game kind of did that itself. And there's an image that popped up kind of recently. People called it out. I think it was on Reddit or something. But basically, there's a disclaimer at the beginning that's like, "Hey, you don't have a magic compass. You don't have a map. This is entirely like you are turned loose in this world. You got to pay attention to what's going on and figure out what's happening and solve these mysteries yourself." And I think that puts it much more squarely in the adventure game department than it does in the action, Souls, horror, survival, whatever it is. And it has combat. Like I was whatever on it when I thought it was a Souls-like. I was not interested. And upon finding out that it's actually about creeping around and uncovering some mysteries and all that, it is a lot more interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, this took a lot of like retraining of my brain kind of back to like old school games where you didn't have maps, you didn't have map markers, there was no quest log for you to go and look at. You do have like a little touchpad that you can look at that keeps all of your clues and such that you can look at, but it doesn't like, hey, you should go talk to blah, 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 because this clue refers to them. There's none of that in this game. You have to really pay attention to the environment. You have to listen to what people are saying in conversation, because will be sometimes the only hint.
I hate doing that. When's it my turn to talk?
it's the only hint that you'll get about like, hey, I should go look over here, or hey, this person was like, hey, I'm really bummed about this terrible act that I did now that the war's been going, and I just really want to remember what life was like before I did this terrible thing. And that's the only clue you get, and you just leave. That's the end of the conversation, basically.
Well, that is Souls-like in a sense. You know, we always talk about Souls-like as being like hard combat, and you know, you lose your stuff if you die or whatever. But like, they also have incredibly obtuse side quests, and also aside from, you know, Elden Ring, they don't really have maps. Like, you're kind of just, you've got to remember where things are and pay attention. You know, you meet some guy who's at like a lobster shack and he mutters to himself about something horrible that happened. You got to go halfway across the world and figure out what the hell he's talking about. And like, it feels like they're pulling on that corner of FromSoft games as opposed to the, you know, the combat side of things.
It does have that. Thankfully, you can repeat conversations with people, and you know, talk and get a little bit more details about them. Major NPCs will have like there'll be specific like dialogue options that'll pop up on the left side of your screen, whereas everybody minor NPC that isn't just a like just doesn't bark lines. Basically, if it's somebody you can go into a conversation with, they'll have these right options on the right to talk that you can ask them about the world. You can ask them about the creatures in the world. You can ask them about the two races of people that are currently at war, that are causing that is part of this whole overarching world. Another thing I'll say about this game, it's very heavy. It's very dark. There's a lot of imagery of executions, deaths, and like, you know, death, whatever, in a video game. But the way that they kind of paint that picture of how people died, there's some really, you know, triggering things for some people. So just kind of be aware of that going into it. There's also what are called there's these giant orbs that will be placed around the map that are called time loops, where it's basically something just vile and just atrocious that happened in this world that was just pure evil kind of manifests into this orb. And when you go into it, you just see this like heinous act that is just repeating. It's just people like being executed, trapped in time forever and ever. And so you have to figure out how to break those loops to free them. And that will generally give you, you know, some sort of key item or a little bit of information more about the world and story. It just depends on which ones you're clearing. So it is definitely very heavy. There's kids that are missing limbs. So like it's really does not shy away from like just how brutal war can be in a country.
I kind of wish it didn't have combat. I mean, I realize that's a controversial thing to say, but like if you're making a game all about the horrors of war, and then it's also like, be sure to equip your amulet and your best sword and go and manage your stamina meter as you fight these big ghosts or whatever. Like, I don't know.
There's a storyline behind why the creatures are there and what they kind of are. So the combat is nice because it helps kind of funnel you from direction to direction.
Well, it's also a video game.
It's also a video game. Yeah. But like, because there's no map, no compass, like you get a manual compass that you can just, so you know which direction you're facing. Cause sometimes they're like, you should go look to the northeast, but you have to like equip it to your little hot bar and then activate it. And it stays up for a few seconds while you run, and then you put it away. The enemies were kind of a good guiding light for me to like, oh, I should go look over there because there's enemies over there. And sometimes I would find a passageway I had missed or a quest line and such.
I'm really into it on that level. It seems like a cool time. It's also, I feel like pretty proudly borrowing from the Alex Garland movie Annihilation, and then also the Netflix German show Dark, which is about weird time loop stuff and people in ponchos and being creepy in barren landscapes. And I don't know, I'm really into that. It's got also killer soundtrack. So I like what this is doing. I'm happy to hear that it's being received well. It seems like it's I
had a very good time with it through and through. It starts off a little slow, but once you get towards, I'd say about the mid to back half of Act 1, it picks up a lot quicker, and it's a lot. You've kind of, at that point, you've become ingrained of like, oh, okay, this is kind of how this game plays and how this game works. And now I know I need to go talk to this person, or I need to go find somebody around this area to talk to. There's multiple like zones. You get an APC to travel between different areas, which will also reset some of the enemies respawning. So you can also farm them for materials for upgrades. There's a whole upgrade path for your weapons. You can augment them with different glyphs and elements. There's red, green, blue, yellow, which all link to like an emotion like rage, terror, grief, and I believe ecstasy is the yellow one. Yes, ecstasy. You get to do ecstasy in this game, Max. Not really.
Yes, ecstasy, the opposite of grief. I guess it kind of is. Yeah. That sort of works.
Yeah, it is. And those all will change, like your combat style. The weapons will look differently depending on how you upgrade them. So that gives a nice little variety in your builds.
How many unique ponchos are there that can be equipped throughout the game, and are they hidden in crates like in Jedi Fallen Order?
So I only had the one poncho, but I did find like 5 different hats as I played through. So you can put on a hat on top underneath your poncho. Yes. So okay. That was when you look at it, it looks like there is, they say that you can buy additional ones in the store and such. So I imagine there's going to be some microtransactions for if you want to make your character look different. It has no status, has no play on gameplay. It's purely cosmetic. So that's, so I'm okay with that. If that's, if you wanted a golden cloak or poncho, if they have that in the store, go for it.
Sure, why not?
Money if that's what you want.
Cool. Well, Jada has your review is up one of these days. It's going to be out very soon, and there's we also have some tips up on IGN's YouTube, and the guides team has been working on that. Hey, thanks for watching this clip from Beyond, IGN's weekly PlayStation show. You can find the full episode over on youtube.com/IGN Games. And don't forget, new episodes of Beyond drop every Wednesday on IGN.com, the IGN Games YouTube, and all your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks again for watching, and as always, Beyond.